What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down film from five-star wide receiver out of Temple, Texas, MICAH Hudson, who has over 35-plus scholarship offers. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it can teach you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you are a wide receiver or a quarterback and would like to train with us this offseason, check out that very first link in the description below. We're going to be coming out to 7 more states across the U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver camps. So very first link in that description below is where you can get all the information. We're coming out to Boston, Cleveland, Austin, Seattle, Newark, Denver, and Los Angeles. So we'd love to have you out there, fellas. Again, very first link below. We'd love to see you at our camps. Let's get back to this video. So MICAH Hudson is a perfect example of there being levels to this receiver thing at the high school level, right? I think as wide receivers, you know, a lot of you young guys watching this video obviously have dreams and aspirations of playing college football. You want to be able to play at the next level, and there are certain things that you have to showcase on film in practice that is going to stand out to a college coach, especially at the Division I level, which is why he has so much attention, because he checks a lot of boxes. So this is a practice clip here of him going up against probably a scout team DB, a pretty average, you know, high school DB, you know, nothing against this guy, but I want you to see the difference here in speed and the difference in quickness. He makes this look very easy off the ball. Now, this is just a simple go route against press, and he just dusts this guy. 5 yards of separation. It's not even kind of close, right? That's how it should be. If you want to be a wide receiver, and I'm just going to keep it real with you guys, if you want to be a wide receiver who plays at the Division I level, because honestly, Division I wide receivers are such good athletes. They're some of the best athletes in the world, and not even counting, you know, the guys that end up playing professional, just guys who play in Division I college football and then never play after that. They're such good athletes, and they're matched up against great DBs every single snap. So in practice, you guys should be torching the second string guys. It shouldn't even be kind of close. And you see the difference in speed. You see how he comes off the ball. He's got this explosive crossover move, faking to the inside, gets this DB to sit, and he's gone. Now, again, this is practice. It doesn't matter what he can do in practice. It matters what he can do in game and what he showcases on film. And that's what I want you guys to understand, because there are so many wide receivers out there that go about the recruiting process incorrectly. They don't end up with any kind of recruiting attention because they're not showcasing themselves correctly on film. They may even have the correct type of plays on film, but they're not showcasing themselves. And that's what I want to talk about today. But fellas, I want to show that clip first because this is how it should be in practice. Nobody should be able to run with you if you want to be that top tier wide receiver talent. So now, one of the things that all five-star wide receivers have in common, you look at any five-star wide receiver in last year's recruiting class, this year, the following year after that, they all showcase their ability to make big catches. If I'm a college coach, right, and I'm watching somebody on film, they are not going to watch a 10-minute, 7-minute, even a 5-minute long highlight tape. You probably have 1 minute, maybe 2, if you're super lucky, of a college coach's time to stand out. So within the first 3 plays, you need to be able to showcase your ability to make the tough catches. You got to think about how many high schools there are across the country. Now think about how many high school football teams there are. Think about how many receivers there are. And that's what you're dealing with, fellas. That's the competition level that we have. Everybody wants to be a wide receiver. Everybody wants to play receiver at the next level. So how can you stand out? And it's not going to be by making just wide open catches. It's going to be making jump ball, 50-50 catches, catches in traffic. You're getting hit and you're still able to hang on to a pass, and plays like this. So this is Hudson's first play on his highlight tape. This is a jump ball fade, and watch what he does here. One-handed grab, falling back, DB grabbing on him. This is a highlight, fellas. This is a play that they do not expect you to make. Now, there are a lot of wide receivers out there that maybe don't have this type of play, but there are other plays that you can include on your tape, because these are plays coaches don't expect you to make. A lot of guys' first play on their highlight tape, they're wide open by 10 yards, and yeah, maybe they ran a great route, but the camera can't see that you ran a great route, and the quarterback throws you a perfect pass, you catch it, and you walk in untouched to the end zone. If I'm just being real, there are thousands of receivers who could do that exact same thing. That is not a first play, jump off the tape play that a college coach is going to want to see, at least at the Division I level, right? You know, maybe if you got a ton of speed, maybe if you got great size, but if you're average, like that's just an average play. You got to have these types of plays that make you stand out. And these are filled on Hudson's tape. And you watch literally 3 plays and you know that he's a Division I caliber player. And that's what we're going to break down the rest of this video. So fellas, again, I'm going to play this full speed one more time. Those types of explosive catches, the plays they don't expect you to make, is what will make you stand out at the next level. Because you can't replace a receiver who catches everything. If you got a guy, let's put this into perspective. Let's say you got a guy who runs a 4.2 40-yard dash. Then you got an average looking receiver, but every ball thrown to him is a catch. And that 4.2 guy is about like 50%. Who do you think's going to play? Probably the guy who catches absolutely everything. I'm talking 100%. You target him, he's going to catch it. That guy will play because that's more valuable, because that's moving the ball. I don't care if you're fast. Like being fast certainly helps. Running great routes helps. But if you can't finish the play, it don't matter. So they're looking for guys who can finish the play. They're looking for playmakers and people who could do this. So this player from Micah Hudson, this is probably one of the best high school football plays I've ever seen. Breaks a tackle, catches a slant, takes it 60, 70 yards, another broken tackle, showcases he's just faster than everybody on the field. Like, that's a football play right there. Now, again, this shows just pure, like, he's dominating. If now, he's out of Temple, Texas, and I think the school he goes to is not a 6A school, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sure some of you watching this probably have a better idea of this. But just based on the competition level that I'm seeing here, like in terms of like the defense he's playing, it doesn't look like he's playing, like a Westlake caliber school or, like a Lake Travis caliber school in Texas. Like, looks like maybe he's playing not the greatest competition. Now, I'm sure a lot of you watching this video don't play in a huge football market like Texas, California, Florida, maybe a lot of you are in Indiana, Chicago, like Illinois area, whatever it is. You have to showcase this just dominant film if you want to get the attention of those college coaches. If you play at a smaller school, if you play in a small town, if you're at a school that's a very low division, you have to dominate. If you're a player that plays like 8-man football, I train a few of those guys, you have to be dominant. If you're not dominant, you're not going to turn heads. Because if you put a Division I guy on one of those lower division teams, he should be catching and getting a big play every time he touches the ball. And that's what you got to showcase on film, fellas. It is absolutely possible. You see guys all the dang time coming out of low division, like in California, for example. There are so many freaking schools out here. Like, we have Division I, which is like the St. John Bosco's, the Mater Deis, all that. And then there's Division II, which is like the Los Al's, Long Beach Poly. And then you got Division III, IV, all the way to like 14. You got guys in Division VIII, Division IX playing Power 5 football because they are dominant like this. So if you have dreams and aspirations of playing college football, you need these types of plays. And that's what Hudson has. And that's why there's so many people recruiting this guy, because he can showcase that explosion, that dominance. So, fellas, your speed, breaking tackles, and turning up a slant into a big play is super important. Now, some of you might be thinking, okay, well, coach, I'm in a primarily run offense. I'm in an offense where I don't get targeted that much. I got another receiver who gets a couple more targets than me. How can I make these plays? You need to get on the field by any means possible. And this next play is going to showcase that. So this is punt. Micah Hudson's going to be returning this punt here. I'm sure you could probably guess what happens. And this is the third play on his highlight tape. Those first two are the first two plays on his tape. This is play number 3, right? So number 3 play. He is returning a punt. Now, there are a lot of receivers out there that don't want to return punts. They don't want to return kickoffs. They're the typical cliche receiver. I'm just going to run routes and score touchdowns. I'm not going to block. I'm not going to play special teams. I'm not going to play defense if they ask me to. And you're missing out on opportunities to showcase your explosiveness and showcase that you are a playmaker. Fellas, I cannot stress this enough. College coaches are some of the best scouts in the world. They do scouting for a living. As soon as the season, and this is why being a college coach is so tough, because if you're an assistant college coach, it's not like you're making money like the coordinator or the head coach. Making, a decent salary, I guess, is just, if you're at a big program, you're getting pretty decently paid, right? But what they do as soon as the season's over? They're on the recruiting trail. They scout. They schools, programs invest thousands of dollars, probably, honestly, maybe even millions into recruiting over the course of however many years, right? They're very good at their job. They've seen a lot of football. They know what a Division I wide receiver looks like. And guys, for receivers, they recruit people who have that ATH next to their name. Athletes. They want athletes because, again, if you're a good athlete, they could probably fit you into their offense somehow. So you know what athletes do? They make big plays wherever they're at. So if you're sitting there and you're a wide receiver and let's say you're on an offense that runs a lot of wing T, right? Okay, we're on a wing T offense. I get maybe 2 targets a game. How am I supposed to put together these big plays? Because the less opportunities you have, probably the less big plays you're going to have. Return punts, return kicks, offer to play some running back, play defense. Because if you get a pick 6 and it's an explosive play, but you're primarily a wide receiver and a college coach knows that, but that play stands out to him. You got to make plays, so you need to get on the field. Do whatever you can to get on the field by any means necessary. Now, If you're a quarterback watching this, that's a little different. You know, if you're a running back who can't catch a dang thing, probably don't offer to play receiver. Like, there are exceptions to the rule. But if you're just a receiver trait, like true and true receiver, and you're not maybe getting the amount of targets that you want, return kicks, return punts. Please do whatever you can to get on the field because you need plays. And if you don't get plays, you're not going to stand out. And again, you see some of the top athletes across the country. The top recruits every year are usually not just wide receivers. They're usually labeled athletes. And that's what college coaches want, especially at that Division I level. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you'd like to come out and train with us in 7 different states this offseason, from Boston all the way to Los Angeles, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to have you out to one of our off-season camps. I'll see you guys next time.